Hello viewers, Detective Steve here. Ordinarily, it would be my absolute pleasure to celebrate me reaching the milestone of 100 episodes of Casual Reviews. However, I don't think I can honestly do that today because this is not the 100th episode of Casual Reviews. That honor actually belongs to Coco. Now, how did this happen? In the past, I've done companion pieces to go along with a review of a newly released film, resulting in some of these episodes having decimal numbering so that these companion pieces can connect to each other. Because of this, the episode numbering and the actual number of episodes are not in sync. Some of you might be thinking this is a bit of a weird way to number some of my episodes. Technically speaking, I think you'd be correct in that. However, I'm in too deep and I am not going to change the system. And now, your feature presentation. T'Challa, the Black Panther, assumes the throne of Wakanda. In doing so, he faces challenges, both on his claim to the throne and in wondering whether Wakanda's resources and power ought to continue remaining secret to the world. The good. T'Challa and the characters that he has close relationships with have really good chemistry with each other, making even their casual interactions fun to watch. This origin story is not a prequel showing T'Challa inheriting the mantle of Black Panther. So while there is plenty of exposition and a need to learn about these new characters, we do get to skip quite a few of the typical origin story tropes. And for those of you suffering from superhero movie fatigue, that's gotta be good news. The villain of this movie is very compelling and emotionally palpable and has a great dynamic with T'Challa, in the yin-yang other side of the coin sense. They both have similar ideas about certain things, but they each feel very different in regards to how they feel they should go about accomplishing their goals. Marvel is known for peppering zingers throughout most of their movies, but in this movie, there's a lot fewer of them than usual, allowing the seriousness of the situation and the emotions of the characters to have a stronger impact in defining the tone of the movie. Not to say that Marvel hasn't been able to accomplish this in their past movies, but having them pull back on the zingers a little bit really did help. The storytelling in this movie is very well paced and organic. We get our exposition about the world, we learn more information about the story, and we get our important character moments. It feels weaved into the progression of the story. The movie never feels like it's slowing down or halting just so it can give us a certain piece of information. This film does maintain a couple of connections to the other Marvel Cinematic Universe films, namely through the presence of Everett Ross in most of the plot. But apart from that, not very many elements of the Marvel Cinematic Universe come in and affect the way this story is told. It's mostly its own characters, its own story, and its own identity as a movie. I've seen a lot of movies, and I'm willing to bet that you guys have too, that paint a very sharp dichotomy between people who live in a society that has a lot of technological advancements and a society that is largely governed by tribal culture. So I think it's really good that in this movie, the two aspects get to combine and form Wakanda. The action in this movie is cool, it's a Marvel movie, so that's to be expected, and it's facilitated well by the Black Panther suit, other Wakandan technology, and just the general badass fighting skills possessed by the characters. Like with the zingers, there are also fewer action scenes in this movie compared to previous Marvel movies, which I think can be a good thing because it makes each individual one feel important. This movie has a variety of cool looking locations, not only because the design of the cities in Wakanda and Korea look noticeably different than a lot of cities that the Marvel Universe has been to in the past, but Wakanda also has the aesthetic benefit of a jungle landscape. The iffy. Based on the mid-credit scene from Captain America Civil War, we know that Bucky Barnes is in Wakanda recuperating, trying to get himself into a right state of mind again. And to the disappointment of some, Bucky Barnes does not play a part in this movie. Now, as cool and hilarious as the image would be for T'Challa to run into the cryo chamber, open up the pod and be like, "Wake up, Bucky, I need you to help me save Wakanda," his presence just wasn't necessary, and any focus given to Bucky would have detracted from the main focus of the story. The bad. This movie had a really compelling main antagonist, so my only nitpick is I wanted more. Not like the movie was light on him or anything, but even just like 10% more of him in this movie would have been really cool. The verdict? We live in an age where it's difficult to make a superhero movie feel like a fresh experience. But I think this movie did the trick. It gives us a new set of aesthetically pleasing locations for the fun, action, and humor that we've come to know from Marvel Studios to take place in. But it also does a particularly good job at really pinpointing the emotions and the themes that this story is trying to convey. This is Detective Steve. Infinity War is less than 3 months away. Oh my god.